Hey guys, I actually just wanted to make a really brief video in response to some of the comments on the Minecraft movie trailer. This isn't really about that movie in general, I just really resonate with the saying that this movie being for kids is an excuse that it doesn't need to be criticized, or that we're out of line for criticizing it because it wasn't made for us, it was made for little children, and of course we can't enjoy it because we aren't little children. Now, I'm not talking about being entitled, like you can't make a movie that's just for kids, you have to always keep me in mind too. You can't make something that's for someone without including me in your demographic as well. But I don't think this is about changing your demographic or your target demographic. I think this is about making something competent enough so that even though you're targeting it at a specific demographic, which is children, other people who aren't children will also appreciate it because it's just that good. Instead of going on a big rant about my opinions, I actually just wanted to compliment the LEGO brand. While they're definitely not perfect, I've been surprised at some things they've put out. I remember one time I was flipping through the cable just to see, on a whim, just to see what kind of young children's shows were airing on TV today and compare them to shows of my day, or even just to check the quality of them. This is something I used to do with my brother for fun, my brother being quite young, by the way. There was one show, I don't remember what it was called, but it looked like it was kind of Asian based, and it was about this girl who had like armor and a sword and a helmet, and she was a superhero of some kind. But the villain of this episode was a monkey that accidentally got too big and she shrunk. She didn't use any of her weapons in the show, or at least not in this episode, and the way they resolved the conflict was unbelievably boring, and it wasn't even conflict really. And then there was another show. This one was honestly really hard for me to track down because I couldn't for the life of me remember specifics enough. But this was like where there was a bunch of kids who are magic who live in another world, and then there was a girl from our world who is living there temporarily, and she apparently has like super powerful magic. She just can't do anything with it. And the bad guy was built up to be super scary, but I guess he's super lame because they beat him with a tickle spell, like a tickling spell. I'm not making this up. So anyways, I was feeling super depressed, but then thankfully the show called Lego Dreams came on and restored my faith a little bit. Because before we had, oh no, there's this giant monkey, and like, oh no, there's this bad guy and we don't know how to tickle him because we're not powerful enough to even do that. But then this Lego show, which by all accounts and especially design-wise should have been lamer or something, or had a lot of like Lego-themed jokes that are cringe and making us very aware that it's a Lego show as if we don't know. But we go from those horribly mundane pieces to an episode of a Lego show that featured a girl who was struggling with such bad abandonment issues that she thought love, or the words I love you, were gross and made her very uncomfortable. When her friends see how uncomfortable she is, they're very concerned and they try to help her understand that love isn't bad and love is actually real. The real version of love actually does exist, and they can love her. They can love her back into wholeness again. This is incomparable with the other two, and yet it was on the same kids' channel. It was for the same age demographic, I'm assuming. If you're getting this smacked by Lego, then what the hell are you doing? But it reminded me just how surprised I've been at how good a lot of Lego shows are. Like, I think of the Lego movies. Those are heavily dialogue-based comedy, and yet they have their really emotional moments. I even recall an interview with the creators saying that they were just a bunch of adults who were having fun, and kids just happened to enjoy what they were doing. And even the smaller, cheaper Lego TV shows seem to have really compelling writing in comparison to their counterparts. I mean, one of the only Lego shows I've seen is Ninjago, and admittedly I only saw like 2 seasons of that, but I was surprised at how good it was. And I know people say that the Ninjago movie is the worst of the Lego movies, and yet I've only seen that movie once, but I can't forget it, especially this part.
I know how that feels. To be judged unfairly. I forgive you. And I'm sorry when I said I wish you weren't my father. I didn't really mean it. What I should have said is, I wish we didn't fight all the time.
And the other Lego show I can't get out of my head is Lego Monkey Kid, and I honestly don't remember how I found this because it's really hard to find actually, which is frustrating because it's so good and more people should watch it. But then again, I think the fact that it's Lego and also that the show is admittedly pretty hyperactive, people could take one look at it and think, yeah, it's dumb kid stuff, but then they would miss out on this.
I couldn't. I just wanted to protect the people I cared about. To be strong enough. I lost sight of why I was doing any of it. I know I've made a few lifetimes worth of mistakes, but living them over and over again like this,
Well, good thing you're immortal, right?
What?
There's plenty of time to do things over.
Kid,
You told me something that I thought was just a weird Monkey King thing, but you were right. We can't fix everything. We just need to leave it a little better than we found it.
Kid! I got you! I got you. I got you.
Monkey King, I was wrong.
It's not important now. Kid! Oh! Oh.
I'm sorry. I messed up. I messed everything up.
Hey, you're okay. You're okay, kid.
Now maybe all of this was a bit random and convoluted, but I think what I'm trying to say is that yes, I agree with people like Jester Bell and others on YouTube who are saying that kids deserve better. You don't have to go out of your way to make your kid's product super edgy and dramatic so adults like it, but you don't need to be afraid to discuss hard things. Don't make a kid show unless it's something that you really care about, just as much as if you were making it for adults. And you'd be surprised at how much kids don't think you're being funny when you're pandering to them with your jokes.